Anna Kilpatrick, and I'm an exhibition designer here at the Melbourne Museum. The focus of my design work here is spatial design and 3D design. The museum really tries to create immersive spaces, and that has a lot to do with the built form that supports and surrounds the Triceratops.
I'm Jess, I'm a communication designer at Museums Victoria, which means I look after everything from exhibition design through to printed collateral, marketing, and everything in between.
My name is Zoe, and I'm one of the experience developers who works at Museums Victoria and who contributed to the Triceratops exhibition. Experience developers are responsible for narrative and interpretation in an exhibition, so how can we share these stories in a way that's interesting and meaningful for visitors? And what mediums should we use to turn this information into an experience?
The concept behind the Triceratops exhibition is that visitors are transported back through time. They essentially go through a Cretaceous forest.
We meet all of the animals who shared this environment, and we see them interacting with each other, and we see their adaptations.
These environments that are depicted through projections on the walls are all informed by paleontology. So all of the plants and the animals are informed by the known science.
Feeling like a human in an environment that's not meant for you is a really interesting experience. So we wanted to make visitors feel like it was a beautiful world, but it was also a little bit of a dangerous world, both for them and for Triceratops.
We didn't want these projections to just feel like flat walls. We really wanted them to feel like they were part of a three-dimensional space. So part of my role was to develop a three-dimensional canopy that kind of blends the virtual realm with the physical space that you're walking through.
Finally, we come face to face with the Triceratops in this beautiful chamber, and it's almost a reverent kind of moment.
It's really special to be standing next to something that is 67 million years old, and it's kind of hard to get your head around, really. That time frame is kind of incomprehensible to us, but when it hits you, it's really special.
When you see this real Triceratops fossil, it's this beautiful sort of caramel kind of coffee colour, a dark kind of brown. So we really wanted to make sure that the space was all about highlighting the colour of that Triceratops. And it was also about thinking about colours that existed 60 million years ago more. What were the colours of that world? What did the Cretaceous look like? How is it similar to what we see today, and how is it completely different?
Taubman's worked with the exhibition designers. They had a really clear idea on the colours that they wanted, and our job was to help turn that from a vision into reality. So to actually turn those ideas and that thinking into a colour palette. It's exciting. There's a completely different energy working on an exhibition. You're working with a lot of designers, there's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of back and forth, there's a lot of talk, which is a really enjoyable process.
Colour really informed the emotion of visitors in the space. So there was areas where we wanted them to be a little bit scared maybe as they kind of came face to face with the T-Rex. And then there was areas which we wanted to be much more warm and give a sense of safety alongside this Triceratops specimen.
I'm not a paleontologist, but I thought that dinosaur would be a kind of creamy bone coloured, old bones, but it's not. It's this incredible kind of deep purple or red colour almost. It's almost black, but it's got a lot of warmth to it. So I thought this was a beautiful thing to be able to make use of. So in all of our textures that surround the Triceratops, we tried to enhance or play with those colours.
Everything that's designed in the exhibition has come from the dinosaur itself, so the fossil kind of has informed our thinking. So things like all the graphic panels are in these kind of funny hexagonal shapes that are actually influenced by the scales of the Triceratops itself. A lot of the text is etched into rock or stone to kind of reference how a fossil is made, actually being a kind of an indent into the stone where that dinosaur once stood. So visitors come face to face with Triceratops, and they kind of notice that there's this looming asteroid out of the corner of their eye. It sort of follows them throughout the exhibition, and that represents the impending extinction event for Triceratops. But it's also sort of a reflection of the current extinction event that we're facing in this time.
One of the challenges in developing this exhibition was how to connect this ancient creature who lived on the other side of the world and that story with the experience of living here in this place today. And so for us, the link there was birds, who are all direct living descendants of dinosaurs who survived the mass extinction event and who still live all around us every single day, no matter where we actually live. So for the final section of the exhibition, we wanted to create a celebration of birds where visitors step into their world and see their movement and hear their song and listen to what they're telling us. All of the birds have really distinctive personalities and stories, and they're all deeply connected to their environments. They're all full of movement and song, and all of them have something to tell us. It's also really special to be able to have Bunjil the eagle appear and have a presence in the exhibition, and for the parting message of the entire experience to be about caring for country and all of the creatures on it.